Hello everyone, and welcome back to Take My Journey. Today's video is going to be kind of a short video, but it's on a recommendation of a book that I think is imperative for all women of all ages. Now, this book does focus on menopausal, perimenopausal women, but I think every woman or girl that's getting into the later years of their life, a lot of them are experiencing symptoms and things that can happen at a lot earlier ages than normal. My recommendation today is a book called Estrogen Matters. This book is so important for women. Why taking hormones in menopause can improve the length of women's lives without raising the risk of breast cancer. This book is written by Avram Blooming and Carol Tavris, and they take a deep dive into a study that was done in around 2000 from the Women's Health Initiative that blew up the HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy for women across the world. Up until this point of the Women's Health Initiative, women all over the world were taking HRT. And we always think of it as, or I thought of it as, oh, we're taking hormone replacement therapy just for hot flashes, or I can't sleep, or I want my skin to be more beautiful. And that is true. However, what Dr. Blooming and Dr. Tavris have found is that HRT is a lot more important for women. A lot more. And how I got attracted or wanting to read this book was because I got my bone density scan test last year. And I had had one done maybe 10, 12 years before. And they did warn me that I had osteopenia, and I didn't take it that seriously. I was doing all kinds of stuff, exercising, all this kind of stuff, but I didn't take it that seriously. I didn't think I was that old and that it would be that important and I could take care of it later. Well, I got my bone density test redone last year in 2024, and it wasn't good. I dramatically changed from osteopenia to full-on osteoporosis. So that worried me. And what really worried me when I started getting into researching it, I found out that having osteoporosis can literally take 10 years off of your life expectancy. A decade. Now, me being one that my goal is to see if I can get to my 100th birthday, that wasn't in line with my goal at all. And it kind of took me back, and I was surprised, and I thought, oh, what do I need to do? Well, I came across this book, and because of the fears of the Women's Health Initiative that caused worldwide panic, 70% of women that had been taking hormone therapy for decades, some of them 10, 15, 20 years, helping them live longer and have healthier lives in their later years, 70% of the prescriptions stopped at that time. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of money in women's health. There's a lot of remedies for menopause, perimenopause, from anything from prescription medications. They prescribe antidepressants. They prescribe anxiety medicine, all kinds of stuff. From that realm all the way to you need to go to the spa once a week, which isn't too bad, or retreat and do these kind of things. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of millions and multi-million dollars in women's health regarding perimenopause and menopause. Well, what they found is that the Women's Health Initiative was not a good research document. They found a lot of holes in it. They found a lot of things that you need to understand about report that changed the world, literally. There's a thing that they do, and I think I mentioned this in another video, called data mining. where researchers, they are looking for a hypothesis. And honestly, originally in the book, they talk about that the Women's Health Initiative was really to look about a research about heart disease in women. And they got off on this thing about hormone replacement and breast cancer. Anyway, data mining is when you have a hypothesis that you're looking at, but it's not working out that the way you want to. So you go back to all the research and try to find any little teeny thing or minute thing that might change it in your direction or help with the hypothesis that you have. And they did that. And it's mind-blowing, honestly, when you read the books. They also talked about two things about statistical manipulation, not just with data mining, but the differences between absolute risk and relative risk. That's really important. And they will go into it in this book, and you will understand, and it will become apparent to you that publication was very flawed. And the Women's Health Initiative since then has retracted and walked back a lot of what they said, and even admitted that hormone replacement therapy is actually very good for women and their longevity. The funny thing is, they sure don't post that in the press. They put it out there in the press when they think something's wrong, but when they have to retract things or go back, admit that they were wrong, crickets, silence, nobody says anything, and that is terrible. Many women can have a much better quality life if they read this book and they understand more about HRT. I'll never forget the day after I read this book, and I thought HRT would help me with my osteoporosis. And I called my doctor, and I was worried about resistance because many doctors still go with the HRT causes breast cancer. I took a deep breath, I gave her a call, and I said, just hear me out. And I do have to say, she was very supportive in my carnivore diet. And so I didn't 100% think I'd get a really bad pushback, but I thought I needed to explain my case. And so I start telling her, just hear me out. I'm really worried about my bone density. I sent the test in. I'm sure you read it. And she said, yeah, it's not ideal, as if you would say. And I said, I was just wondering, I have read this book and it talks about all the health benefits of hormone replacement therapy, and one of them is osteoporosis. And I said, so I'm just touching base with you because I'm hoping I'm going in the right direction. And she said to me, Tracy, I read the book. And I'm like, you did? And I go, oh, because she read the book, not just little pieces and parts that I'm trying to explain to her. She read the whole book. My doctor did. And I said, so am I going in the right direction? Are you having the same feelings that I'm having about help my osteoporosis? And she said 100%. So I have been on HRT for almost a year now. And there's other things, lifting heavy weights, and I'm going to get into that in another video. I bought a weighted vest because they say you need more weight on your body for the help with the bones, calcium, vitamin K7, all this other stuff. But at first I wanted to do everything. But then I was like, well, if I do everything and it gets better, how will I know which one had the most impact? So I've really stuck with the HRT. I pulled back on some of the other things, and I am getting ready to schedule my new bone density test. And I have to be honest, even if it stayed exactly where it's at, I would be happy with that. And if it doesn't get any worse, if it got a little better, I'd be thrilled. So I just wanted to let you know, please read this book. All women should read this book because there's a lot of other things. You might not have osteoporosis, but there's so many other things that it can help with your quality of life. One of the things that they're really finding out is that it helps women with cognitive decline, to prevent that, to help with Alzheimer's. And so there's quite a few different things that it can help with. And so I think it's very important. Thank you so much for joining me today on this very important subject, HRT in women. It's going to be one of my videos in my women's health series that you have expressed an interest in. I've had women express that because I've asked if they were interested in it. This is going to be one of a series of women's health interests. Thank you so much. Please leave a comment below if you are interested in more information. Let me know if you've already read the book. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your feelings and what you thought about the book. And if you're enjoying my content, please subscribe, share, give me a thumbs up. Thanks again for taking my journey with Estrogen Matters, important book, and stay grateful, stay kind, and I'll see you next time on Take My Journey. Have a great day.